At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Did Duke win? Who won Duke or Houston? What was the score?
Wow.
Right.
You're not kidding.
If the internet's any indication, that Duke-Houston game was a pretty big deal.
And you know what's interesting?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just those basic questions.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, everyone wanted to know who won and what the score was.
Right.
But people were digging deeper, too.
Deeper how?
Schedules, player stats. Oh, and Cooper Flagg.
Of course, Cooper Flagg.
I mean, that name was everywhere.
I bet.
Even where to watch the game, how it all fit into March Madness, the Final Four.
People were really invested, huh?
Invested is an understatement.
Well, you came to the right place, folks.
That's right.
You had questions.
Tons of them.
And we've got answers.
We dug through all those search queries, all that online chatter.
We're not just going to give you the highlights.
No way.
We're going deep on this one.
We're going to figure out what made this game so captivating.
So let's not waste any more time.
Absolutely.
The number one question on everyone's mind. Did Duke win?
Well, all those searches, did Duke win, Duke loss, who won the Duke game?
Yeah.
People wanted that answer right away.
Straight to the point.
Exactly.
And to be clear, all those searches, did Duke win, Duke lost, they make it pretty obvious folks were interested in whether Duke won or lost.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And let's be real, this wasn't just any old regular season game.
Yep.
You saw it too, right? All over the search data.
Oh, yeah.
Final Four, March Madness.
Constantly.
This game meant something.
It had weight, you know?
Big implications.
For sure.
This was the tournament, folks.
Win or go home?
And when the stakes are that high, people want to know the details.
Absolutely.
The score, I mean, the number of different ways people searched for that score.
You're telling me.
Duke score, Houston score. Duke versus Houston score.
Every combination you can think of.
People were obsessed.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
When a game is that close, that important, the score becomes like this symbol.
Okay.
It's not just numbers.
What is it then?
It's like the whole story of the game boiled down.
I get it.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
People also wanted more than just the final score.
What do you mean?
All those searches for highlights.
Oh, right.
Duke versus Houston highlights, Houston versus Duke highlights.
So they wanted to see the game, not just know the outcome.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
They wanted the whole experience.
The narrative, the drama.
All of it.
And speaking of experience, we saw a ton of searches related to actually watching the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like what?
What time does Duke play? When does Duke play? What channel is the Duke game on?
The logistics.
Where to watch Duke versus Houston? How to watch Duke versus Houston?
Everybody wanted to miss it.
Like everyone knew this was going to be a good one.
And, you know, it speaks volumes about how important these matchups become.
You're right.
It's like they become these cultural events.
Okay, so we talked about the game itself, but we can't ignore the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Cooper Flagg.
This guy's name was everywhere in the search data.
Cooper Flagg people even spelled it with a P.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't just his name. People wanted to know everything.
Cooper Flagg stats. Cooper Flagg foul people were tracking his every move.
Exactly.
It's amazing how a single player can generate that much buzz.
It really is.
It's like he became the face of the entire game.
Well, he's a talented player, no doubt.
He is.
But it also says something about the role of star power in college sports these days.
You're right.
Fans are drawn to individual players, sometimes even more than the teams themselves.
And then there's that other question, that really interesting question.
Which one?
Is Cooper Flagg staying at Duke?
Oh, right.
That one really stood out to me.
Why?
It shows how invested fans get in these young athletes' careers.
It's like they feel personally connected.
Exactly.
They want to know what's next for them.
And it's not just about Flagg, right?
No, of course not.
we saw searches for other players too.
Like who?
Proctor Duke, Cryer Houston.
Right.
It's not a one-man show.
No, definitely not.
Basketball is a team sport, and I think fans recognize that.
Yeah, they appreciate the contributions of all the key players.
So beyond individual players, let's talk about the teams themselves.
Okay.
What's interesting is how specific the search terms were.
How so?
It was always Duke Blue Devils men's basketball, Houston Cougars men's basketball.
The full official names.
Yeah, not just Duke or Houston.
Interesting.
It shows how strong these programs' identities are.
It's true. They're like brands.
And you know what else we saw?
What's that?
Some searches for the women's teams, too.
Even though we're focusing on the men's game.
Yeah, which just shows how much broader interest there is in these universities' athletics programs.
Makes sense.
And, of course, we can't forget about the coaches.
Oh, the coaches. Crucial part of the story.
Searches for John Shire, Duke head coach, even some personal stuff like John Shire wife.
Really?
Yeah, people were curious.
I guess that's the price of fame.
And on the Houston side, we had Houston coach Samson Houston.
Fans definitely wanted to know who was leading these teams.
Absolutely.
Because the coaches, they're the strategists, right?
Yeah.
They shape the team, set the tone.
And the personal searches, they show how fans see these coaches as people, too.
Not just figureheads.
No, there was one search that really caught my eye.
Which one was that?
Has Houston ever won a national championship in basketball?
Wow.
Just that one question, it says so much.
About what?
Houston's history, their ambition.
The weight of expectation.
Yeah, and how this game fit into all of that.
Because a win here against Duke in the Final Four.
It could have been a huge step towards that ultimate goal.
No doubt about it.
Speaking of the game's impact, let's talk about fan reactions.
Oh, boy.
The search data got pretty emotional.
What do you mean?
Searches like Duke choke, Duke collapse, Duke lost, Duke loses. You can feel the disappointment, the frustration.
Yeah, it's raw emotion.
It really shows you how invested these fans are.
Heartbreak in search queries.
And it wasn't all about Duke and Houston.
No.
We also saw searches for broader terms like basketball stars, college basketball, NCAA men's basketball.
So people were connecting this game to the wider world of the sport.
Exactly.
It was part of a bigger story.
And that story continues even though this particular game is over.
How so?
Well, we saw a lot of searches for what's next.
Like what?
Duke basketball schedule. When does the Duke game start? Duke game today. Duke basketball game.
So the Duke fans are already looking ahead.
And of course, the Final Four dominated the searches.
Makes sense. That's the main event.
Final Four, men's Final Four scores, even. Final Four 2025.
Wow. Looking way ahead.
People are already anticipating next year.
It's like one big game ends and the countdown to the next one begins.
That's the beauty of sports, right?
The excitement never really stops.
So to sum it all up, what did we learn from all this data?
Well, this Duke versus Houston game, it was more than just a game.
Right.
It was a cultural moment.
It had national attention, high stakes, incredible players.
And fans were deeply invested in every aspect.
The score, the highlights, the individual performances, the coaches.
All of it.
And even though it's over, the conversation continues.
About Duke's future, about the Final Four, about the future of college basketball.
And that brings us to our final thought for today.
Okay, I'm listening.
We saw how a single player, Cooper Flagg, could capture the imagination of so many fans.
It was remarkable.
It makes you wonder, what is it that truly elevates a game to that level of excitement?
That's a good question.
Is it individual talent, team rivalries, the pressure of a championship?
Maybe it's a combination of all those things.
What do you think?
I think it's the stories, you know?
The stories.
Yeah, the stories behind the players, the teams, the coaches.
The narratives that unfold on and off the court.
Exactly.
And those stories, they keep us coming back for more.
They do.
Because in the end, sports are about more than just wins and losses.
It's about the human drama.
The passion, the heartbreak, the triumph.
And that's something worth searching for.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.